Welcome to the newsletter. Scenario to end the Russian-Ukrainian military conflict and its feasibility. On channel HT New. Positions of Russia and Ukraine at the moment are very far apart. However, the Russian side still sent a message about negotiations to end the military conflict. How will the parties accept concessions to each other to reach a peaceful solution? Negotiation conditions of Russia and the West. Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov recently said that Moscow is ready to negotiate an end to hostilities in Ukraine. However, Mr. Lavrov made clear that Russia has two conditions to reach a truce. According to Newsweek, one of Mr. Lavrov's conditions for the two sides to negotiate is that the West takes full account of the interests of the Russian Federation and its security. The second condition is that the West needs to bring us some serious approach to help diffuse tensions. The first of these two conditions is that Russia requires the West, especially the United States, to accept at least some of Russia's territorial claims in Ukraine as well as Ukraine's not joining NATO. The second condition could be to ask the US and other Western countries to come up with a mechanism to force Ukraine to accept any agreement between Russia and the West on ending the conflict. Neither the United States nor Ukraine are willing to heed the proposal made by Lavrov. Ukraine's President Zelensky had earlier stated his own conditions for negotiating a solution, including punishing Russia through new sanctions, ending Russia's role as a permanent member of the Security Council, United Nations, and international security guarantees for Ukraine. Russian President Putin certainly does not accept these conditions. Russia and Ukraine are clearly still far apart on mutually acceptable terms to end the military conflict. In addition, the administration of US President Biden has made it clear that any solution must be acceptable to the Ukrainian government. America will not help Russia by begging Ukraine to accept what it does not want. Need a compromise, so can some realistic terms be reached to end the conflict? If neither side wins the final victory, then the two sides can only reach a solution through negotiation if they both accept certain concessions. The West can make the following suggestion: in exchange for Russia's withdrawal from all Ukrainian territory that it controls as of February 24, 2022 and Russia's suspension of its special military operation in Ukraine, the West will withdraw all economic sanctions that it has imposed. They imposed on Russia from that day on. Ukraine will clearly benefit from this, and Russia can resume oil exports to Western countries willing to buy Russian energy. In order for Ukraine to agree not to seek to join the NATO military bloc as Russia insists, American scholar Mark N. Katz, George Mason University, thinks that Moscow will need some concessions to convince Ukraine not to do so, such as withdrawing troops from the border with Ukraine, withdrawing Russian forces from Belarus, withdrawing troops from Transnistria, a breakaway from Moldova and backed by Russia, and ending the naval blockade of Ukraine's seaports. Many in the West, especially in Ukraine, will oppose these proposals, arguing that they are not strong enough to punish Russia for launching an offensive against Ukraine. Similarly, President Putin and his close team will not easily give up what they have gained after suffering significant losses. Currently, both sides tend to want to continue fighting instead of making any concessions to each other. But if the two sides are still at an impasse, then at some point, both will have to accept a compromise solution, even if both sides are not satisfied. At that time, American and Western diplomats should actively assist them in achieving this. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, share to support and update the latest videos from HT News channel.